Over the years, the United Kingdom government has shown interest and support for the development of education, especially low-cost private education in Lagos State. To further find new ways to improve the performance and governance of low-cost private schools, a discussion program was recently organized and hosted by the British Deputy High Commissioner, Laurie Buffields. In her address, the Deputy High Commissioner spoke on the essence of the event while reiterating the UK's commitment in ensuring the success of low-income private schools.
How do we make private education, and in particular, obviously, low-cost private education, affordable by every single family? How do we make that the best it can be? How do we make that as good as any other form of public education? So tonight is about this. It is about the celebration of low-cost primary education. It's also about asking the questions about, okay, how do we make it as best as it can be? What are the examples of good practice?
Speakers at the discussion panel include the International Patron Association for Formidable Education Development, AFED, James Tutley, the Director General Office of Education Quality Assurance, Mrs. Runke Shoyobo, MD Edifin Microfinance Bank, and Professor Pat Utomi. Their discussion focused on charting new ways to improve the performance and governance of low-cost private schools.
This is what we should be working towards in terms of public-private partnerships, between the government and the private sector. I think that Lagos State is showing that we have moved the discourse beyond pure public and pure private to how can we now begin to explore how to work together, more effectively and more efficiently. Government doing what it does best, and the private sector doing what it does best.
Nigeria is estimated to have 400 million people by 2050, 32 years, 150 million at least more children that they have to go to school. So government alone can't do it. The key thing for me is that children should be educated. So what do we want to do now with EdFin? For now, we have commercial funding. Some of the things that we want to look at is funding to schools, funding to teachers.
In an interview with Education Report on TV, speakers at the event say, bearing in mind the important role played by low-income private schools, all hands must be on deck to help these schools surmount their challenges.
There is something extraordinary happening in Lagos, isn't there? There are 14,000 low-cost private schools serving a couple of million children, and they are affordable to the poor. So what I want people to know, what I want people to take away from discussing with me, is that there's a tremendous success story going on in Lagos. We don't need to over-regulate the sector. We don't need to punish the sector. We need to embrace it and say this is something we want to see happening.
It is possible to give decent quality education at low cost. It's like the wealth at the bottom of the pyramid. So quality education gives opportunity to the poor. That's a path to justice. We're going to build a society where we actually get a demographic dividend from out of our population surge. This is where we go.
Government has actually worked collaboratively with AFED a lot. And when I say AFED, I'm talking of Association of Formidable Education Developers. And with that, how have we worked with them? We've given them the enabling environment. And also, you will see that we've worked in partnership with them because they are helping us to close a particular gap. AFED being there has made our children not to be out of school. They have created an environment where our children can go to affordable schools. But at the same time, for us to be able to keep them, what we're not ready to compromise with will be standards.
The low-cost private schools, they are contributing a lot to education development in terms of access. They are contributing in terms of education quality, and they are also contributing in terms of learning outcome in Nigeria. And particularly, there are options for children for low-income households. So rather than people seeing them and calling them mushroom schools, they are schools that are tapping onto the opportunity and filling on a space. And as much as we have that situation, then they are very handy in helping us to solve the challenges of out-of-school children.
What we have started, we cannot relent on it. If anything, we want to improve on it from time to time. And the timely exam we are doing now is bringing in so many pupils so that we'll be able to do our data in a better way. And by the time we are through with this, in the next 2 years, we will hear AFED in a better level, even higher than what we are seeing it now.
The fact that we are here today means that the society is beginning to acknowledge what the impact the low-cost private schools are making. And that is what the British government has done today through the Deputy High Commissioner. And I must congratulate every one of us who is here, because in one way or the other, we are here because we are making impact.
My aim was to raise awareness about how prevalent low-cost private education is. So 80% of children in Lagos actually go to non-state schools, to private schools. And so we have to recognize that these schools are the ones that provide for our children. They look after our children. And we have to think about actually what we can do to support them, to make them as successful as possible. And when we look at the evidence, we find that a lot of these low-cost private schools are just as effective as the public schools. They provide decent quality education, they provide welfare for the children, and they are very much celebrated by the parents.
The UK government says it is committed to working with stakeholders to develop the education system in Lagos and Nigeria. Little wonder it has taken pragmatic steps to support opportunities in the private sector through its various policies and programs.